Live. Hi friends, Lindsay here for Swing Design. I am on my phone today, so things look a little bit different and they're going to appear backwards. So just bear with me because we are working with my Sublimation printer. So I'm super excited to share this first coaster project. So I've made a couple of t-shirts so far with the SG1000, and then I want to sublimate onto these coasters, which I think is going to be really fun. So if you're here and you can hear me, then can you say hi and let me know that everything's working okay? Because again, I'm on my phone, which I don't normally do. Looks like I'm up here. So anyway, thank you for joining me. Let's go ahead and move carefully over to the printer. So I just got this printer. It's the SG1000, which is right here. Let me plug in my light. There, that should be easier to see. So this is a sublimation printer, so it uses special ink that you can, oh, I see people saying hi. Hi, Marianne, Angie, Paige, thank you so much for watching. The SG1000, so really cool sublimation printer. It uses a special ink, I don't know why that's tilted, you print on this paper, and then you can transfer this design onto specialized material. So like a polyester shirt, or in the case of the coasters, they're the special blanks that are used for sublimation. So I have already gone ahead and printed it out. And what's cool about the SG1000 is that you can print up to 11 by 14. No, 11 by 17. Yeah, so you can print on these big, long sheets of paper. So think like, I don't know why this is not staying up. There we go. So think like, large, t-shirts, pillows, there's so much you can do when you have a larger space to print with. Now, you can obviously print 8.5 by 11. So you would just adjust that in the paper settings tray here. But all I have right now is the 11 by 17. So that's what I printed on. But I'm going to trim this so that I can save this and use it for another project. So that's what I have going on here. And I'm on my phone, so everything is flipped backwards. But one thing to note is when you print with sublimation is you need to print the actual design backwards. So I'm going to hold it up and it's going to look like it's the right way, but when I look at it, it's backwards. This is called mirroring, and in the software or the print manager for the Sawgrass, there is just a little box that you check, and that when you press print, and it asks you what you're printing on, or what kind of paper you're printing on, what that is going to be transferred to. So I selected polyester because that's what those little coasters are coated with, and that's what will stick to. That's what these images will infuse into. And then there's also a little box that says mirror. So it will just automatically flip the design backwards for you. So I know it looks right way to you, but to me it is backwards. So I'm going to go ahead and go back over to my heat press because that's what we'll need to actually transfer the design. So on the website, I've actually, in the description, I've linked to the printer itself, and then also a bundle too that includes the heat press, because you will need that as well. And then there's lots of different options, you guys. The Sawgrass, there's also the SG500. which prints 8.5 by 11, but there's a bypass tray option, so you can print even longer than that. So definitely take a look at all those options there, because there's some really cool stuff that you can do with sublimation. So let's go ahead and take you back over to my heat press, which I have right here. This is the StarCraft. I love this heat press, and it is, I need to adjust it because with sublimation you want to just go ahead and set it to 400. So this is going to be 400. So I'm just using the buttons here. Almost. There we go. Okay. 400 for 60 seconds. And so it's really easy to do this. There we go. So that's going to heat up a little bit more. It was previously set for a vinyl setting. And so the difference between sublimation and vinyl is that the vinyl is going to lay like on top of the fabric, whereas the sublimation is going to be infused into it. So here is a shirt that I did earlier this week. And so I know it's backwards, I'm sorry. But you can see just how vibrant that color is. This is a 100% polyester shirt. And I was able to print it 11 inches wide with that printer. So, and then I think the design is maybe like 6 inches tall. So you could definitely fit a few designs, onto one sheet of the longer paper and just be whipping out these shirts like no problem. And so yeah, the fabric is like now the actual, it's not vinyl sitting on top. So this isn't going to peel off. It's not going to fade. So that is what I've created so far. This time I want to work on a coaster project. So these are the blanks that I'm working with, and they are special coasters designed for sublimation. So I think what they have is like that special polyester coating on it so that it will be able to accept that transfer or sublimation ink. So I do need to go ahead and trim down my paper because right now I'm just working with working with the 8.5 or the 11 by 17, but obviously my design is not that big, so I want to save the rest of the paper for another project. So let me just, I don't know why this isn't letting me do what I want it to do. Here we go, that might be a little bit better. Okay. Ay. I'd say it's Monday, but it's not. There we go. Well, okay. So my design I have over here, and I am going to trim it down with my paper trimmer. So I just have that nice straight edge. And then what I'm going to do is just use my scissors and cut around each of them. If you like the designs, I have linked to them as well. This is a set of these 4 trucks, and there's one for each season. So the spring, like the license plate says, a different season. So there's spring, summer, winter, and fall. So I'm just going to trim around them. This is the first time I've made coasters before. I've only made shirts so far, so I am excited and nervous at the same time. But that's what crafting's all about, right? Okay. And then this one. Okay, so then the next thing that I want to do is I'm going to use some heat resistant transfer tape so that I can make sure that the image itself is not going to move while it's being pressed, because if it shifts at all, you'd put it, you know, face down. If it shifts at all, you can get some like blurriness. It's called ghosting. And so you want to avoid that. And I'm going to do that with this heat tape. So I have to find, this is a heat resistant tape. So it's able to withstand the 400 degrees that it's going to be subjected to. And just gonna cut off a little piece here. I'm just gonna tape it. Actually, I'll just cut this in half and I'll do one across the top, and then I'll do maybe one across the bottom too. Well, that actually might be okay. No, I'm going to do one on the bottom. I just want to be conservative. There we go, with making sure that it is not going to move. So you can see why we printed it backwards, because we're flipping the image onto the surface. And so when we flip it onto the surface, it gets transferred. It'll be read correctly. So that's why you want to mirror the design. Okay. My heat press is almost at temperature. All right, let's do this one. And this is a 15-inch heat press. So I'm going to be pressing just 4 coasters, but these measure 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. I could easily fit more on here as well. So you could definitely make a lot of gifts, like a housewarming gift. That'd be so cute. Holiday gifts, and then anything customized too. So you know, because you're printing it, you can you know, either use designs that you know, are already designed for you. So I have these linked in the description, you know, or you can make your own and print those out as well. Okay, let's put that down, and then let's go ahead and then do one more just to be safe, and then we'll move on over to my heat press because it's now at 400. So it is right here. I'll go ahead and raise this up a little bit so I can tilt it down. There we go. I think that'll be okay. Thank you so much again for joining me. We are doing a sublimation project. This is my first coaster project. So I have my heat press here. Warmed up to 400. I'm going to be using a couple pieces of parchment. So I'm going to place one on the lower platen, and then I'm going to put the coasters on here, and I'm going to put a piece of parchment over the top. Close that, and I've got the counter counting down for 60 seconds. So that is doing its thing. It's warm in here, so I got the window open. But I printed these on the SG1000. So that's the sublimation printer that can go print up to 11 by 17. So you can get some really big designs out of there. That's how I was able to print this design, and then there was still room left over for another, I made another shirt too. So this is 100% polyester. That's the substrate that you want to, that's going to work best with your sublimation. And so we've got about, coming up on 5 seconds left. I'm going to, it's going to beep and let me know that it's done. All right, and then I can, now these are going to be super duper hot. So, whoo, yeah, let's just let that cool down for a couple seconds. And then I'm going to go in with, ow, it's really hot. Oh, you know what I should use? I have these little silicone things, finger protectors, that I can use to hold it. Ah! Oh my gosh, I just peeled it off. And then here it is. Oh my gosh, it's so gorgeous. Perfect. Okay, and then let's do this one. And actually, I'm going to turn off my heat press because it is way too hot in here. Whew. This one is giving me a little bit of grief. Oh, there we go. Oh, cute. Oh, this one, some of the paper stuck around the edge, so once it cools down, I'll go ahead and wipe all that off. You know, and I didn't, ooh, it's hot. I didn't line it up perfectly straight, but, you know, it's just like a fun little coaster, so I thought that was fine. And then you can see the paper here is considerably faded from when we had printed it, because it's been transferred onto our coaster. And then one thing I had forgotten to point out is that when you print out the actual design, it's going to print out and look really faded. It's not going to look like the brightness on your computer, but that's by design. That's how it works. When you transfer it, that's when you're going to get that bright, vibrant color, and it's all glossy, super cute. And I could totally have printed much more and fit them on the heat press. So, you know, you can get a lot of these done really quickly. So anyway, I want to thank, that's all I had for today. But if you have any questions, then please, I'll go back and we can answer your questions. But thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye!